Edith Pretty, April to May, 1939. There was a knock on the door. "Come in." "Mr. Brown, ma'am," said greatly, and then stood aside to let him in. I'm not sure quite what I had been expecting, but it was not this. My first impression was that everything about him was brown, dark brown. His skin was mahogany-coloured, so were his clothes. A cotton tie, a tweed jacket with the top button fastened, and what appeared to be a cardigan beneath. He was like a kipper in human form. It seemed absurd that his name should be Brown, too. The only things about him that were not brown were his eyes. Grey, like two polished tacks, they gleamed with alertness. His hair stood up in tufts. He was holding an object in his left hand, brown, inevitably, mashed between his fingers. The other was jutting out in front of him. "Mrs. Pretty," he said. "It was good of you to come, Mr. Brown." No. His handshake was dry and firm. "Won't you sit down?" I indicated the sofa. He did so, but only just, perching on the edge of the seat with his elbows on his knees. The brown object was still in his hand. My gaze was drawn to it. I am afraid I thought it might be an animal of some sort. Then I realized it was his cap. He must have seen me looking because he unclenched his hand, placing the cap on the cushion beside him. "Mr. Brown, you have been recommended to me as someone who knows about soil, Suffolk soil. Mr. Reed Moir, the chairman of Ipswich Museum Committee, spoke highly of you." He twisted slightly at the mention of Reed Moir, I thought, but nothing more than that. I remembered how Reed Moir had described him as being somewhat unorthodox in his methods. I remembered, too, how he had also referred to him as a local man, laying a good deal of stress on the word local. At the time his meaning had passed me by, but now I saw it clearly enough. "As you may know," I went on, "I have a number of mounds on my land. I have been thinking for some time of having them excavated. Mr. Reed Moir told me that you might be the man for the job." There was no reaction, not at first. Then he said, "What do you think might be in your mounds, Mrs. Pretty?" His accent was broad Suffolk, with scarcely any vowels coming through, and the consonants all clattering into one another. "I'm assuming they are prehistoric, probably Bronze Age. As for what, if anything, may be inside, I would not care to speculate. From what I can tell, they do not appear to have been excavated before. It is rumoured that Henry VII dug for treasure in a mound here. We also know that John Dee, Elizabeth I's court astrologer, was commissioned to search for treasure along this stretch of coast. Some people say he came here too, although there is no evidence of his having done so." Again he said nothing. Despite his clothes, there was something oddly spruce about him. Possibly it was his air of containment. "Would you care to have a look for yourself?" I suggested. Outside, the landscape was drained of colour. The water in the estuary looked hard and shiny. It might not have been moving at all. Underfoot, the grass was spongy and already damp with dew. I was careful where to put my feet. Mr. Brown walked with his arms bowed and his elbows sticking out, as if his jacket was too small.